Hey guys, starting this week, I'm going to start a new series on commemoratives. What I'm actually doing is commemorative sets. There are certain commemoratives that you do know about that are very common, but there are some that have very uncommon coins. The first of the series, I'm going to be talking about the Columbian Exposition, 1892 through 1894. Most common collectors, they definitely know about the 50-cent piece, and that being the first commemorative 50-cent piece. But what you don't know about are maybe some of the tickets or even the Isabella quarter. So this episode I'll be talking about those, and I'll be giving some history behind them. Other ones coming up in this series: 1926 U.S. Sesquicentennial, which is the 150th anniversary. There are actually a couple of coins that came out then. There was the 50-cent piece and also the quarter eagle gold $2.50 piece. I'll be trying to find more commemoratives and the rarities. But for now, those are the two I have slated for this series. So let's go ahead and start on the Columbian Exposition from 1892 to 1894. So, like I said before, most people do know about the commemorative 50-cent piece from the Columbian Expo. This was the very first commemorative 50-cent piece out of the classic era. They're very common, and you can get them for a pretty good low, cheap price. Extra fine was about $20, according to NGC. It depicts on the front a bust of Christopher Columbus. It's silver 90%. On the reverse, you have the double globe showing the east and west hemisphere, and one of his ships that sailed the ocean to the New World. like I said, a very common coin. For 1893, they minted 1,550,000 of these. And again, they're very common to come by and very inexpensive. From there, we go to the tickets. I didn't really know these existed. When I went to a coin show, I thought these were fractional currency. But upon closer inspection, I realized they were tickets to the actual Columbian Exposition. You would buy these at the gate, and they were good to use from the 1st of May to the 30th of October, 1893. But you could only use them once. So you would literally buy a book of these and use them one at a time. These, in this condition, a little bit water damage and tearing on the back, can still go for about $75. You have the Abraham Lincoln version and also the George Washington. The scalloped seal in the background, this one blue, while the Abraham Lincoln is green. Again, this one here can be used only once. Between May 1st and October 30th of 1893. Again, about $75 in that condition. Now, this one is the rarity. Only very few are still in existence. In 1893, the Isabella quarter, it holds an important place among early commemorative coins in the U.S. It represents the first legal tender U.S. coin to depict an actual woman. During the time, usually it depicted liberty, but this was an actual existing woman, Queen Isabella. I believe she was the one who funded Columbus's trip across the seas. Additionally, it was the first to depict a foreign monarch on a U.S. coin. Instead of a U.S. president of the past, this was a Spanish queen on a U.S. coin. The coins were created at the suggestion of the Board of Lady Managers for the World's Columbian Exposition. At the time, the Columbian half-dollar had been already authorized, produced, and was still being sold to the public as a souvenir coin for the Exposition. The authorized production for the quarters is relatively low at 40,000 pieces, with identical specifications to the circulating quarters at the time. So basically, this was minted on a quarter planchet, and I believe at that time they were barber quarters. So literally, these are barber quarter planchets. In 1893, the Isabella quarters were sold for $1 each in the women's building, compared to the Columbian half-dollars, which were also sold for $1 each. The quarters represented the worst value. Correspondingly, the sales were much lower, and with a portion of the mintage returned to the mint for melting. The final mintage for the coin, after subtracting those were minted, was only 24,214. And to this day, that's the only number known to exist. In this condition, you can fetch about $300 for this coin. They are very rare and very sought after. So during the Columbian Exposition, the U.S. Mint only made 2 coins. Both were sold as souvenirs at the fair. They weren't meant for circulation, but only meant to be commemorative coins. And also the tickets were modeled after fractional currency. So, to common collectors, they only know the $50 commemorative for the Columbian Exposition. But there's a lot more out there. There's actually privately minted medals and other souvenirs. And also there are tickets that were sold day of. So you walk up to the gate and you buy the ticket for that day's admission. They weren't as intricate as these. They were kind of a basic handwritten ticket with a little bit of design on them. But as far as I know, there's 5 different designs of these. I do know of the George and the Abraham Lincoln. And there's also a Columbus. Let me pull up the information on this. Columbian Expo tickets. Now, we'll show the screen here. Okay, as you can see, there are more tickets made. There's these 2 are for the International Exhibition in Philadelphia from 1876. But we go to the International Exposition. Of course, the pictures don't want to work. And the camera wants to flip out. Anyway, while this is going on, like I said, I know there were 6 tickets made. You had the Washington, Lincoln, the Franklins. There was Christopher Columbus. And there's an Indian. Also, Handel. Like I said, the day of sale tickets were kind of basic compared to the other ones, while these were bought beforehand and were used whatever day you want to show up. And as you see, the value of them uncirculated, there's some pretty high values and some pretty moderate values. Again, the ones I have are about $75 each. I think this set they're selling for all 6 for $75, but these were cut from souvenir cards. It's not the actual tickets. So it's a good part of the collection to look out for. Definitely when you go to coin shows, look at some of the currency collectors. They usually have a bunch on hand. And also on eBay, you can find for a good price. So that's it for now. We'll see you next week. I'll definitely have a little bit more of a put together show. It's only 2 coins, but it's 2 coins that a lot of people don't know exist. it was commemorative for the 1926, like I said, the sesquicentennial, which is the 150th anniversary of the U.S. Constitution. During that time, yes, they didn't do any circulating quarters like the bicentennial quarters or the 50 cents or the dollar coin. They actually did more of a not for circulation 50-cent piece and a quarter eagle. So more on that next week. We'll see you then, guys. Have a good week and enjoy.